So welcome
All right.
back to an SR Fitness podcast. This is episode 8 with Josh Goold. How you doing, buddy?
I'm very good, thank you. How are you?
I'm good, mate. Thanks for coming on.
That's it, mate. It's going to be a good one. It's going to be a good one. I'm looking forward. Thanks for having me on anyway.
No, you're
Uh,
welcome, mate.
as I was saying earlier on to you, it's a bit weird being on someone else's podcast.
I know you do your own one, don't you?
Yeah, it's a bit weird, but I'm going to enjoy it. We'll have a good time.
We'll have to
Hopefully-
flip it one day. I'll come on yours as a guest and I'll know how
Yeah,
you feel.
we'll get in the mass discussion. We'll just talk loads of stuff about random shit, and you'll be like, "What the fuck have I got?" I swear.
Yeah, you're fine, mate. Don't worry.
Okay, sorry. You beep it out if it's bad because I swear really bad. But yeah, you'll be like, "What the fuck have I got myself into here?"
I'll be.
Like 2 hours deep. I'm like, shit.
I know. I actually will be as well. So basically, this series is just a little bit getting to know you, really, and getting your opinions on stuff and how things are working for you. It's a life, a fitness life with yourself. So
Yeah.
we may as well start from the very beginning. How has this all come about that you're now in the position of a bodybuilder? What kind of triggered this?
You know what's really funny, right? So, like, basically, one day I did lots of like sport growing up, right? So I did lots of like Thai boxing. I really liked the karate, Thai boxing. It was really good. I got a bit of an injury, I remember, and I just sort of like played golf for a year and like partied with my mates and had a bit of a good laugh. And then one day my mum stormed basically in my room, and I think I was just lying in bed, and she was like, "Right, you come in with the gym with me, let's go." I was like, "What?" And I'm like 19, almost 20. I was like, "Well, I ain't going to the gym with my mum." She's like, "No, come on, let's go." All right. Anyway, like my mum was that person, like, it's
No way.
her word goes, right? And I
Mm.
was like, fucking hell, this is like 2015. So she's like, "Right, let's go." Going. Anyway, I get in there and I'm like, "Okay, sweet." And I didn't really know what I was doing. And the PT that was there, it was like a one leisure gym, which if you don't know you won't know what that is. Well, you might, but other people, listeners might not. But it's like a leisure centre, commercial,
Yeah.
real commercial council gym kind of thing, So it's got all those sort of shit machines, like the vibrating thing, like we'll burn calories. Like,
Yeah.
there was a guy who was like a bodybuilder kind of guy, American football player. He's like a rugby guy. And he was like, he made me a little program, and I went round with my mum like 3 times a week. It was like, he was really like, like when
That's
people were like,
mad.
I went training with my mum. My mum was like making me do bicep curls. I was like,
That's
and no
mental.
embarrassment as well to be in there with my mum. I didn't care.
So you're quite a
So,
late bloomer then, considering.
yeah, mate. Well, that's where it came from. And then if we like fast forward a little bit, I was going by myself to that gym, and then the guy, his name's Brad. He was a really nice guy. He was just like, "Mate, you don't want to be in this gym. You want to go to like Hanley's." And this was like, apparently Hanley's was like, oh, "Okay, this is the hardcore gym." So I was like, "Okay, cool." So I was like, "Oh, I'll go visit it. I'll go see what it's like." When I went there, it was, it's like the iron dumbbells that you've seen in Pump and Iron. It was like bodybuilders, pictures of bodybuilders on the wall. Like the geezer working there was the biggest thing I've ever seen. I was like, "Oh my fucking God, this is scary
Yeah.
shit." But
Music as well.
yeah, I mean, throughout that whole time, I must say that I was influenced by sort of, because it's 2015. So 2015, like social media was around, right? Obviously, I'm 25, so a lot of people, like I said on other podcasts, they were like doing this when they were 15.
Yeah.
When, like, I don't know how old you are, but they're like,
Same
how
as you.
old are
20,
you?
I'm 26.
Right, you're 26. So in there at the same age, you remember when you were 15, it's like Facebook was the
Yeah.
only thing, right? It wasn't really. And then before our time, there was MySpace. But so those people, like my friends who started at that age, they were influenced by like bodybuilders, right? My influence, I was looking at people on Instagram, YouTubers, like Callum Von Monga, these guys. I thought, "Oh, these guys are really cool. Like, these are big." And I went to this gym, and these guys were like, the people behind the desk were better than Callum Von Monga.
Yeah.
What the fuck is this kind of thing? And I was sort of learned very quickly there that actually, as much as I think Callum's a cool guy, it's, that's who he is. He's a cool guy. He's not a bodybuilder.
Sure.
A lot of people might think, "Oh, you're a tosser saying that," but he's not really, is he? He competes, but he's not Dorian Yates.
Yeah, sure.
It makes sense if people who know, if all you've got to do now is no one who has an idea of the fuck I'm talking about, just type in Callum Von Monga and type in Dorian Yates, and you're going to see 2 completely different ends of the spectrum, right?
You saw that when he brought out his Netflix show as well, didn't you?
Yes. What
Oh, I forgot
what's
what it was
what,
called.
is that the
Something
kind of
Iron,
one?
Generation Iron, is it?
Yeah, the number 3 where he hurt
Yeah,
himself. Is that
yeah,
it?
yeah.
Or is it? Oh, his one actually. I haven't seen his one, but anyway, so you can see where I was sort of my influence was it was a bit different than sort of what some people might expect. But then I went there, and that's when there was people competing in that gym. And yes, so from there, that's when the it sort of changed. So I was into like personal training. I actually switched from doing a teaching degree to doing strength and conditioning degree because I didn't want to be a teacher. I didn't want to work in a secondary school. I was like, this is
Okay.
not for me, which is a very good degree to do and get because you kind of set yourself up
Mm.
for money and a career, but it's a career I didn't want to do. So I was like, oh, this is more I was interested in. And then that sort of spiraled to the point where I was like, towards the end of my degree, I was like, I want to compete this year. I want to compete. And this was like 2018. So I've like fast forwarded really quick, sort of into like 2018, where I'm like, I want to compete this year. This is the year I'm going to compete. I'm a junior. This is the last year I'll be a junior. I'm going to give it a go. And then I was bit by the bug. Then that's when
Yeah,
it was like, um, yeah, that's when it was like, holy shit, this is what I want to do. Like after my show, I was like, there's nothing else I want to do except this. This is amazing.
that's where you got the buzz for it, did you? So when you're in that gym, then, because I'm just trying to picture now. So you'd never really stepped foot in a gym. You went with your mum to a
Yeah,
leisure center.
yeah.
At what point there must have been a trigger point where maybe someone said something or you saw something that you realized that your physique could turn into an on-stage physique?
I had a bit of a so even when I was at the leisure centre, people would be like, "You're wide." Like I looked, I had a little bit of shape. I had no muscle really, like I literally had no muscle. But I think it was the love for the iron. Like
Mm.
there and then, it was the love for the iron. Like it was an outlet. Like I went from being very active, fighting, not fighting on the street. I'm not trying to say I'm hard, but like going
Yeah,
to
yeah,
Thai boxing, sparring, pushing yourself, getting like I got more battered than I battered people. Let's
yeah,
say. So like taking a hiding off fucking like off the girls and shit, just
yeah.
getting beat the shit out of by some like little kids. But like, I wasn't very good, but I got beaten up, and you were constantly pushing yourself. It's like you do all these fucking press ups, you do all these sit ups, you beat the shit out of bags till you fucking can't breathe. And then I went to like doing fuck all, playing a bit of golf, which I
Yeah.
got quite into, to be honest. Got a bit into golf, but I was partying, I was smoking joints with my mates, drinking, just having a good time, as you do when you're 18 years old,
Yeah.
right? That
And
kind
then
of thing.
and then it just spiraled into you had a bit of
And
a focus.
yeah, like it gave. Do you know what I mean? I had that sort of mental outlet again, and I was like, do you know what? I prefer lifting weights than getting punched in the face.
Mm.
Because originally my mum was like, "Come on, you get fit, get you back into Thai boxing."
Hmm.
Oh yeah, you know what? I think that was a little bit of the drive, but the guy who gave me a training plan when I joined the gym gave me like a bodybuilder split.
Right, got
It was
you.
like chest. It was chest and I think it was like chest and triceps. Then he had me doing back and biceps. Then he had me doing
Yeah.
legs. Then he had me like it was like that. It was like a real bro sort of split, 5 day a week
Hmm.
kind of thing. And I just got in there and I just loved it.
So
Um,
with just kind of like fast tracking then. So
yeah,
you got to a point then, did you have a coach going into that first show?
yeah. Yeah, so I contacted Jordan. I could scale it back. Like if I go back to what you did say, it was when I joined the Hanley's gym, which we had
Mm.
the bodybuilders in, is when I saw like bodybuilders, and like classic guys for men's
Mm.
physique guys who were there, and I was like, I'd seen this on the internet. I'm seeing it in real life. Like this is,
Yeah.
that kind of sparked it. And
Yeah.
on 2017, I went to my friend's show and I watched him compete, and that's when I was like, yeah, I'm gonna fucking do it.
You want a
And
bit of this?
and even then, like I had a fight for. I had a very much of an interest. I was heavily. Now I look back, I can sort of see. Back then, I think I was just. I wouldn't, a couple of years ago, maybe I wouldn't have been able to answer the question too clearly, but I was watching fucking like Jay Cutler videos. I was watching, I remember the thing that sticks in my head is when I watched this video of Jay Cutler and he had a series of his comeback to the Olympia, and I think it was bodybuilding.com. You might have seen it. It's like living large or something. And I just remember him, just this big fucking guy, talking about him. I go to In-N-Out Burgers and saying that he has to like keep eating if he misses a meal, if like he will drop weight. He's constant, and I just thought, this is fucking crazy, but fucking exciting. Like, what the fuck, you know?
It's always been by the sounds of things, individual stuff for you, like
heavily
Thai boxing. Do you like being in control then, would you say?
Yeah, I was shit at I do like being in control. That's a big thing. But I was just shit at team sports. Like I played football and I would just be like, I don't know, I could kick the ball. I'd have like 2 good things I would do, but I wasn't like I don't know. I just feel like I just wasn't that good. Played rugby, you know, when I was younger. I wasn't a big guy, so I used to get fucking. I remember this big, tall fucking twat, right? And he was so big, like, you know, he's like, he must have been like 14, and we're in the under 11s.
Yeah.
He was fucking full pelted, and he went. And I remember his big fat dad, right? Was like, get him on the wing, little ginger kid. You know, couldn't have been over fucking 90 pounds or something like that. And I remember him just stampeding at me. And I remember thinking, fuck, what do I do? I'll just go in for a tackle. And I just bounced off him.
Yeah,
went flying. And I remember there and then, it was Christmas time. And my mum was like, looked at me in the back of the car and she was like, you know, do you want to not go back next year? Yeah. And I was like, yeah, like playing my PSP, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you know, I just feel like, yeah, individual sports for sure. Definitely.
I think it's that being accountable, isn't it? Like everything you do, you can only either blame yourself or credit yourself. Yeah. I play team sports, but I do like the element of individual sports. Like I like playing squash and stuff like that because it's
great.
It's me. And when I do something well, it's me. And when I do something bad, I've got no one else to blame. With team sports, you can let people down, but they can let you down as well. And it's that being in control that I really enjoy. And I suppose it's the same with bodybuilding, is that you know that every move you make is either credit to yourself or you're letting yourself down, but you're not letting anyone else down necessarily.
Yeah. You pretty much hit the nail on the head there. Yeah, bang on. But to your original question, I'm bad at doing this. Fucking
just go off the bat. But yeah, basically, so kind of moving on then. So obviously now you're trained by JP. Was it a case of you just reached out to him and wanted some help?
Yeah, so I was doing strength and conditioning at university. I was teaching strength and conditioning. I was PTing, and I was working at a gym. And I had a strength and conditioning coach. Well, I had 2 at university. I had 2 lecturers, and they sort of like, you know, help. One was called Sean. One was called Ian Fletcher. Ian was like your typical rugby S&C kind of guy. You know, it's like his way, the right way, quite military with his shit. Like, he was like, if you write power in any of your case studies, I'll fail you. Like, and he wasn't fucking joking. Like, his presence was kind of a bit like, oh, fuck, it's Ian. Everyone be on your best behavior. Like, you know, like, yeah, he had that sort of, and he was very, I feel like the way that he sort of approached things was very similar to what how Jordan is. Not like Jordan's like, Jordan's like really meticulous at everything. Everything's controlled. Yeah. And I remember just watching his videos, and to be honest, someone who's got learning difficulties like me, I'm quite dyslexic. I find it quite hard to read and write. It took me a long time to read and write, a lot slower than the other kids. The way that he described things, he put things in a very practical, a very theory-based something, and he would turn it into a very practical situation. Very good at applying the theory to practical. Does that make sense?
Yeah. It's quite simplistic, isn't it?
Yeah. So, well, you know, it's like some of the stuff that he says, it's applying it, and it makes total sense. It's like, okay, you know, and he pulls a bit of the science and he pulls a bit of the anecdotal stuff, and it's like. And then he the way he describes it, obviously he does describe, and he's got a big vocabulary, and he's like very academic. But I think that's what spoke out for me, because I was literally just coming out of like that sort of academic sort of speaking a bit like a robot. But then with S&C, your final year, or if you do a master's S&C, it's all about how you can apply the science to a practical situation.
Yeah.
Because the science is great, but it's not always practical, right? It's not.
Mm.
It's not always. It's not. Doesn't always work like that, you know. Especially in S&C where you might have like a whole rugby team turn up for a session. You're not all going to be individually doing your 1 rep maxes.
Yeah, yeah, of
Not
course.
going to do your 5 rep maxes because you've got 50 minutes with 25 guys. You know,
Mm.
like it's going to take you 50 minutes to set someone up for a warm up before. Do you see what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, definitely. So
Yeah, that's
I follow JP quite well, and it
yeah,
fascinates me the way his training mechanisms and kind of even just like his Q&As on socials, how he replies
yeah,
to people and stuff. Is he's very, very fascinating, and I love watching what he does. And
yeah,
is that how his coaching process comes to you?
yeah. He's coaching. So like, I just reached out to him and I was like, Jordan, I want to do. I didn't tell him I was a first timer because he's like, he doesn't want to take first timers on. Right? I didn't
Mm.
know that, but I didn't say anything.
Has it changed much in the last like 2 or 3 years? Because obviously now from then it's grown quite massively, isn't
Well,
it?
yeah, we're a bit more matey for sure. But so his process of coaching is very much like when I reached out to him, it was like, yeah, you know, just simple photos, etc., Q&A, get that sorted. When we did a prep together, and I feel like I was really out of shape. Prior to that, accountability for me, I was that typical guy who could get in the gym, could do it all, but I needed a coach. Like,
Yeah.
how I look back, I say to myself now, because obviously I've just expanded my coaching. In 2017, I needed me.
Mm.
I needed someone like myself to take me on and give me a year of actually this is what it takes to be a bodybuilder, Josh.
Yeah.
And then I would have been in such a better position now if I had done that.
Mm-hmm.
But I was trying to chase like 4 different avenues. Do I want to do this? Do I want to do that? Do I want to do that? You know, it took the prep for me to realize and go, I don't want to do all this other shit. This is what I wanted
Yeah.
to do, that kind of thing. So going back to your question about Jordan and his coaching, you know, it's professional. If I should say anything, it's very much check in on a Thursday or a Friday, whatever day you have to check in, and it's very much send all your stuff over to him. He'll give you some replies, and then you get your game plan, and it's like off you go. You know, come back to me within a week if you've got any serious something that's happened. I've emailed him before in the week, and he's come straight back to me.
Yeah.
But you know, I don't need to hassle him. You know, the times that I have gone back to him is when I've like fucking popped fibers in my chest, and I was like, oh fuck, like what is that? You know, and I thought of like hurt myself badly when it's just I've popped a few fibers and just let him know sort of what's going on. Or I've just sent him some photos that I thought, fuck, that looks wicked. And then he ended up posting them. That was like the first time. I was like, fucking hell. I was like, I must be all right.
Yeah, definitely. So you've been with him ever since?
Yeah, I just stopped. Like, after that prep, like I say, going back, I was fat as fuck starting off. My off season I was not responsive. I was just piling on the food, and I was just, you know, I said, I gave myself 30. I just come back on holiday from with my, you know, she's my wife now. Just came back like off holiday and was like, right, Jordan, let's start this prep. Yeah, like 13 weeks, we can do it. Because everyone else who I looked up to does 12, 14-week preps. Pardon me. But they are seasoned bodybuilders who, you know, who have a 4-6 month off season. Like they've built their frames, right? So they stay relatively lean all year round because they don't have the time to get fat as fuck. Plus they don't want to because they've end up just getting it down, and they've only got to put on, you know, little brush strokes. They've only just got to detail their physique. So anyway, I was just fat as fucking. I had to work, man. I had to fat prep. Was when I look back now and I help people with their like their diets and their programming, I think, fuck me, like I was just really determined to do it though, and I had to do like stupid amount of cardio. I ate very low food. We took I didn't take a lot of drugs, but I just say because of how fat I was, I had to take, you know, a fair amount of drugs that we won't have to take this year around, if that makes sense.
Yeah, of course.
I'm not talking about injectables. I'm talking about, you know, your Clem. I'm talking about, you know, Anavar, Winstrol, stuff like that. That all played a part to try and maintain performance. Anything. Let's not dive down that rabbit hole too much. I don't want to get you demonetized or anything.
As long as it hits one.
But you know, it was, you know, I did it, and I think I earned his respect then, because when I met him at Body Power, I said, you know, we had a chat, and he was like, you know, I said to him, I felt like with that prep, I set the bar quite hard in terms of how hard it can be. And him and Corey looked at each other and went, yeah. And I thought, well, if they're saying it, well, I think it's right. And then, you know,
Must have been hardcore for them to say it.
Well, I feel like it was just, it was very quickly, I was doing cardio very quickly into like 45 minutes of cardio every day. And it was, you know, leading to the show, it was like, right, rest days are going to have to be just pro fat because you're fat. But I tell you what, it taught me is to fucking not be an idiot in the off season and just get like, you know, get fluffy, get soft, get puffy, but don't go full blown out of shape fatso. Like it's hard to get it off.
Yeah, of course. That moves quite nicely to now then. So how long have you been on this off season that you're on currently?
So 2018 prep, got out of prep about November. We had some time, obviously, just to like, just sort of, we didn't go straight into off season, sort of like, just sort of recomps after prep, just sort of held, you know, just you could come off all the bits and bobs that you're on, all your bits, and just sort of hold for a little bit. And I said to him, I want to pick things up after Christmas, but I stayed with him all the way up to December. And I don't know why I did that. I was being fucking stupid. I should have just paid the money and stayed with him.
Sure.
But then I had that, and then literally, I think it was, I had Christmas Day, did Boxing Day, and I think it was in between New Year's. I just messaged him and said, Jordan, just pick things up. And he was like, yeah, mate, absolutely, let's go. Send me some photos. Send me some photos. He was like, fuck me, you've been eating a bit of junk. I said, oh, I've been eating a bit of junk, yeah. I was a bit softer than he last saw me. And he went, you fucking donut, let's get some bloods. Got bloods, and off we went, you know, from 2019, you know, to pretty much I finished, well, at the minute, I'm just holding. So I would say my off-season sort of finished. Well, even if we're counting it for what, 2.5 years?
Yes, it's been a bit of time. And what sort of weight have you put on?
Well, I was about 160 pounds on stage. I'm 221.8 now.
Okay, so a good 60 plus.
Yeah. And, you know, about weight. The thing is, like with Jordan, it's quality over quantity, and he's drilled that into me. And I've seen that with people who, like, beforehand, what I did, great, the scales look great. The scales look great. Yeah, but you look like a fat bastard, Josh.
Yeah.
You know, what's going on up here? What the fuck are you doing? You're stupid, and I had to get it off. And then I came down, I was on stage, I was like 160 pounds, like an absolute fucking wet lettuce.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know how I placed where I placed. Came second on my first show, and I placed top six. I placed sixth, which I got into the top six of the British finals, which was a quite dense lineup. And I was like, fucking hell, like I'm fucking like this, skinny Reed.
That must be quite interesting, and probably something that you're really looking forward to once you start prep and to strip it all back and see what you've built over the last 2 years.
Oh, mate, you fucking know, like just today, I think I put on my Instagram story, like as a joke kind of thing, but it's kind of a joke, but it kind of isn't a joke. You know what I mean? Like, oh, fucking, I'm so ready to diet. Like I am ready to diet now. I'm so ready to see what's going on. Like I look at photos. I'll post one later on after we get this, and it's just like a night and day difference of like thickness all over. And and I just think, fuck, like, and like bodybuilders say, you don't really know if you've got it or like you've got some decent shape until you've built it. I can understand that now.
Yeah.
You know, like I even said to Jordan, now I think now my bodybuilding journey is beginning. And he said, yeah, it's you literally just beginning. What I did before was just sort of like finding what I wanted to do, and now it's beginning, if that makes sense.
It must be quite obviously physically when you're putting on 60 plus pounds, it takes its toll. But what about like mentally, when you've always been used to this kind of, as you put it, skinny kind of lean 160-pound guy to then forcing weight on? What's that like kind of to do?
Well, the goal is like come off that stage, and my feedback was great structure, lad. You know, great stage presence. You've got everyone going. We loved your routine. You don't have enough muscle, mate. Watching my first show, I came second, but that still counts as like sort of a W, doesn't it? Really, W. I mean, an L. Like you kind of want to win, right? Like, and it's like you lost on size, mate. You just got edged off by size. So I think the whole time I just thought like there's just this thought of like I need to put size on. So like the word forced, I kind of like, I have forced it, but it doesn't feel forced. Like every day I'm waking up like, yeah, I need to be better. I need to be better. You know, it's
Mhm.
like that constant drive. It's kind of like subconscious drive. You know, you don't wake up
Yeah.
and feel like I have to do it. It's something I don't have. It's something that I don't have to force. It's just doing the do. But in terms of like health wise, you know, I don't feel like I do feel a bit heavier sometimes, but that's only when I reach a new weight. Like the first time I hit 220, I was like, oh, all right, that feels a bit new. But
Yeah.
then after about a week, I'm like, oh, okay, 220 is all right. My body sort of caught up with itself, you know?
Yeah. I suppose because you're doing it gradually, isn't it? It's a
Yeah, it's also, you know, like Jordan says before, I was like, you know, he was holding me for quite a long. I documented from once I got off stage. I've documented every week. So I've done a video every week since I got off stage for 2.5 years.
and that's on
So
YouTube.
that's on YouTube. Yeah, I've done better. I've got better at documenting it about 6 months ago. Well, about 8 months ago, I got better at documenting it more to sort of. But you can see me when I got off stage. You can even see me on stage, and every week I've put a video out, literally, and you'll see what I'm eating, what I'm doing, and it's all pretty much the same. But the amounts of food got better, and you know, progress hasn't just gone up like that. I've gone up weight, then we've had to like recomp, then we have to go back up,
Mhm.
recomp, literally, just in that scale. So, we take a mean, we have actually increased, if that makes, if
Yeah, of course. It's that journey, isn't it? And you've
yeah,
been doing it for 2+ years. It's just a constant, like relentless thing to it when it comes to stuff like that. It sounds lovely. Like for myself, I'm dieting at the moment. Like
yeah,
the thought of the sort of numbers that you're talking, what you're eating, would sound like a dream, but it's
yeah.
not as easy as it sounds, is it?
No, like,
Having meals at midnight, etc.
yeah, there's plenty of times like I've had to do that. I've had to stay up for meals, but it's all like you think in your head. It's like the way that I think about it right now is like, if I don't eat this fucking meal, then I've got an excuse in 22 weeks' time that I didn't finish this grain of rice.
Yeah,
And if I don't place where I wanted, I've got myself an excuse saying I could have a better off season.
yeah,
Now, if I don't have any excuses, all I can do is shake that guy's hand and go, "You fucking whip my ass."
yeah, yeah,
But give me a year, I'm coming for you.
yeah, yeah,
That kind
definitely.
of thing. That competitive edge, where if you give yourself a fucking smoke screen, you give yourself excuses, and like we coming back right back to the start of the podcast. I'm responsible for this. Jordan
Mhm.
gives me the plan. Jordan gives me what we got to do, etc., etc. But I've got to do it.
Yeah,
You know, I've got to put the work in. So that's kind of thing that I like, because I know that, hang on, if I eat my meals, I'll get it done. I don't care if I've got to stay up till 12 o'clock at night. But sometimes you are tired, but when you're really driven off, I'm very young, so I've got that
mm.
real big drive. When you've been doing it 10+ years, you might feel a little bit different, but I still think it's just the way of the iron, as I call it. It's got a grasp over you, and you'll do anything to keep improving.
Mm. No, that's good, mate. And I think it ties us on quite nicely to the next kind of question that I wanted to run on with your YouTube and stuff like that. Like, I think you've built. We're not talking huge stages, the same as myself, but we've built nice followings from just being true to who you are. And obviously, you come across as very serious and very particular in what you do, but
Yeah.
it's your personality that you get across. Do you think that's something that you try to get across a lot, or you just be yourself?
I don't try. That's just me.
Yeah,
It's just me. Like, I even say to my wife, like, the thing is, I reckon some people think, oh, he's putting that on.
yeah,
Worse without the camera on. Like,
yeah,
it's worse. And a lot of people, when they get to know me, or they train around me for the first time for let's say like a period of weeks,
mm.
they turn around and they go, fucking hell, you're worse in real life. Like,
You're more nutty.
for instance, today I trained, and there's a group of us training, right? Regardless of what's going on in the world. But there's a group of us training, and they were using the term Josh energy, and they were talking about drugs, right? Like, I don't know if it was recreational, but they said it makes you feel like Josh energy. And I was like, what's Josh energy then? Like, who's Josh? And they're like, you. And I'm like, what the fuck do you mean me? Like, what are you talking about? But
Yeah.
I've always been like that. I've always been that. I've been a bubbly guy. I mean, for crying out loud, till I was about 13, I couldn't read or write. That's all I had was going for me.
Mm. Yeah, yeah, sure. It
So
plays
I
its
have to.
strengths.
I guess it's just me, just my personality. But you know, I don't. I just when I pick the camera up, I just talk to it,
Yeah.
and I do rare stuff, and that's how. When I used to smoke weed with some of my mates, they used to call me a rare head, and I guess that's what I am. I'm just a bit of a rare character and do weird, stupid stuff sometimes, I guess.
Speaking of, I don't think the word's weird, but different. Talk about your stag do. What went on with that?
Oh fuck! Well, it's not like the ordinary stag do, is it? Because you're meant to go out and get fucking proper on it, but you know, a bit like I'm like, yeah, but I want to like train and that. So basically, my mates, we usually went to for a training session all at the same gym. A lot of us used to train in there when we first started. I worked there for a long time, and we all just met up again. Everyone who started off training, we all just met up. However, I haven't realised this, but when I came, they were like, "Yeah, you need to put this on." And they made me wear some stupid fucking little tutu. But then when I took a photo, I was like, fucking that most muscular don't look too bad, does it? Right? Because I was still a bit lean because we did 3 months, and I just went back on cycle and we started pushing the food in. So I had all that volumization. So I looked cool. So I was like, fucking hell, I'm going to upload that because I look sick. You know, I look fucking cool. You know, I'll probably look back in it in a year and think, fucking hell, who's that skinny fucking twat in a tutu? But, you know, that's part of
cool, man.
It's a good laugh, isn't it?
The other thing, I just can't get my nut round. It's not something I've got to try to say I've tried, but you put your pineapple in the microwave.
Yeah, well, the thing is, it's frozen.
Okay, that makes sense.
When you buy frozen, it's fucking like rock hard, right?
Yeah.
And you're going to take a tooth out, put it in, you're going to fuck your teeth up. Plus, you know, I'm eating for purpose. I want to get my food in, so you put it in the microwave. And you can't do it for too long, otherwise, like you say, have you put warm pineapple in your mouth?
It's just mush, isn't it?
Oh, not mush, mate. It's fucking because it's frozen. It's still got like the shape, right? And it's like it will be like warm on the outside, but they're a little bit frozen in the inside. But when I say warm, it's like lukewarm, lukewarm water, and it's fucking grim. You get the little bits at the end, and you're like, oh, fucking disgusting. But yeah, that's why, because it's frozen. But you've got to do it.
That makes sense. I thought you were just nutty and you just warmed up your pineapple. I didn't realize you were taking the ice away from it.
No, you want a little bit, 20 seconds. Don't fuck it over. If you do more than 30, you've got a shit microwave, do 30. 20 seconds is usually your sweet spot. If you go anywhere over that, the 20 to 30 mark, you fucked it. It's going to be bad. Anything under, you're eating fucking ice cubes. So
makes sense.
And it goes soft, right? It's like a fucking sorbet. Or put it in and you can sort of crush it with your tongue. Amazing.
So pineapple.
Bang. Take 20 gram of carb out your thing. Stick some fucking pineapple to make up for your little 20 gram of carb. Oh, mate, you bang it in the evening. You've changed your life.
Yeah, that I'm gonna do it. I'll try it. I get 30 grams. I get 30 grams post workout. So I'll swap it for pineapple and do that.
Yeah, pineapple's great though. Pineapple's got some like digestive enzymes in it. Some great benefits from it. So, yeah. I mean, that's why in the off season. So when you go to your off season, maybe push it in your off season.
See how we go, mate. See how we go. So what's your plans then for the rest of the year? Obviously, let's take COVID aside, but
don't worry about that. COVID's not affecting me. I'm not letting it affect me.
No, that's good. That's a good attitude. More like kind of shows and stuff like that without any cancellations and stuff.
Yeah, well, let's just say COVID doesn't exist because pretty much like from the 12th, I'm very optimistic. It ain't fucking getting in my way. Yeah. So let's just say that I'll knock it out. I'll try to anyway.
You get beat up by little girls. You ain't beating.
Yeah, well, look, I'm trying to act tough here. You know what I mean? Right. So I'm 22 weeks out from Sunday. No, it's Friday today, isn't it? Yeah. 22 weeks out. So pretty much going to be prepping, and that show will be on the 5th of September. Obviously, like we've just discussed, I've had a 2.5 year off season, which is a fucking long time, and I've been meticulous, I would say. That's the right word. Someone did comment that or send me in a message. I think they said, oh, looking forward to your meticulous off season. So yeah, I've nailed it. I've never really come off prep. Like I've always weighed my food out, bang on. We are like that. That's how I've kept it. You know, I don't really have a scheduled off-plan meal. I have an off-plan meal when Jordan tells me. Yeah. The last off-plan meal I had was Christmas dinner.
Righty.
So I'm just letting get your perspective. I'm not doing it saying it because I'm hardcore. I'm just doing what I'm told from Jordan.
Yeah. Just quickly on that point then. How does that play a part with like the missus and stuff, like going out for dinners, socializing?
Signed up for.
She knows what she signed up for. I like that.
At the end of the day, she knows I want to be a bodybuilder as a career.
Mm-hmm.
So I treat my bodybuilding like it's my job now.
Yeah.
So it's like, cool, I could have my chicken, rice and cheese, or we could go over the road and get KFC, but that's not on the plan. So if I don't place in my show, that could have been that KFC. Now, someone might listen to that, that's fucking pathetic, but you talk to a footballer and you're like, he didn't turn up to 5 of his passing drills and he plays centre mid or something, and he is not performing the way that he used to perform when he didn't miss a session.
Sure. That's a good analogy,
that's how a bodybuilder's food goes.
Yeah.
However, if you have a scheduled off plan meal, that's what you've been told to do. That's part of the plan. So, but we don't have scheduled off plan meals. Jordan has literally told me, you know, he'd be like, go and have an off plan meal. Or if last year, you know, my missus' birthday, I was off season. I just said, is it possible to have an off plan meal for my you know, my wife, not now she's my wife, my wife's birthday? And he was like, absolutely. But you know, I'll just stick to the plan. Yeah,
that's good. That's good.
But just she knows what she's. You know what? You know this. You know, while we were married and everything worked so well with us, she's just as invested in me and my progress and my career as I'm invested into it.
That's good.
If that makes sense.
That's what you want.
This is where the Team Massive thing came from, because I would nickname us Team Massive, me and her, because I'm trying to get massive. So we'll be team, and then obviously now I'm like, my coaching is like Team Massive.
Yeah, sure.
It's like me and Chanel.
But it's unique, isn't it? It's unique, and that's what sets you apart. Like, obviously, your beard sets you apart from everyone else. Is that coming off the show, by the way?
No, fuck that. I've got to shave it down, probably about here, because when I do my side chest, this bit gets covered. Right, so when that, I've got to be able to cut it so people can see, because I'm not going like that and then going, because everyone will be like, what's he looking at? Like, trying to, what was he over there? Do you know
Imagine
what I mean?
that as your feedback. Oh, you came second because we couldn't see you.
Well, if they did say, oh, your beard's put us off a little bit, mate, I'm going to be like, oh, fuck. So come off my next show. Yeah,
exactly, for the sake of it. Right, I wanna get onto something that I tried with someone else, but I think it'd be good with you. So it's like a quick fire round.
Yeah.
So like a this or that.
All right.
So if you want to give any reasonings for your answers, by all means, or we'll just fire through them. All right. So we'll start nice and easy. Yeah. Chocolate or sweets?
Chocolate.
So if you had to give one up, go on.
I was going to say dark chocolate though. I like dark chocolate.
Yeah, fair one. I'm on that lint, you know, like with a little bit of nice like salted caramel orange. I just put that in my on my cream and rice. Yeah, 2 squares. 2 squares.
Can I just ask, what are you dieting for? You doing a show?
Nah, shoot.
A shoot?
Yeah.
You
maybe one day. Sorry, mate.
You with anyone?
Yeah, I'm with someone.
Okay, are you not how to say?
No, I'm with Kieran Colbert.
Oh, okay, sweet. No, I was just asking. No, I was just interested. Sorry, I'm interviewing you now.
Yeah, and I ain't got enough size to be putting on shows yet, mate. But maybe one day, you never know. So, if you had to give one up for a month, you can't train legs or back.
Oh man, that's a fucking hard question.
Yeah, don't mess about. Started just slow and then jump straight in.
I'm gonna say legs because my legs are like probably my best body part.
It's probably person dependent, isn't it? You'd give up what?
I'll get away with it.
All right, if I said to you now, shave your beard or shave your head?
Oh, head's coming off, mate.
Really?
Yeah, mate.
I've
already thought about it. I said, you know, when I get to about 250 and I look massive, do you reckon I'll be able to pull off the meathead look? And she's like, what are you talking about? We'll just shave my head and have a beard, but I've got to be big enough to walk around in one of those fucking, you know, like the lumberjack vests. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
I ball around like that, and everyone, she was like,
you're like James Holland head, wouldn't you?
Yeah, like James. Yeah, a mini one, but I thought I'd look a bit tougher. You know what I mean?
You got tats?
Beard. No, I don't like no tats. Just fucking. I like will grow out. Like I'm pretty hairy at the minute because I haven't shaven. But grow all this out and just be like a hairy fucking like
Viking or something.
I just thought it'd be funny.
All right, get back to food then. Burgers or pizza?
Burgers. Pizza makes me shit your pants.
Oh yeah, don't have that then. You got to wear a jumper in the summer or vest in the winter.
Oh man, you know what? I could do both. I don't care, but you know what? I hate being hot, so I'd probably just wear the vest.
Go vest, yeah.
Yeah.
Chop off your hands or chop off your feet.
Mate, you fucked at both feet.
You'd go feet.
Yeah, because you can't play. Oh, it's a bit rude, but you can't play yourself. Play with yourself.
Okay.
Cut your hands off.
All right, fair play. So can't believe there's
I've
always one.
demonetized your podcast. It's fucked.
Yeah, we'll cut that out. That's good. Nah, so vegan for a month or no social media for a month?
Oh man, I'd just do no social media. I'd like lose all my gains.
Nah,
No,
you can pea protein.
no, I love man. Like I'm trying to like be the elite top bodybuilder. I don't think.
You can get off socials, can't you, for a bit?
Yeah.
Relaxing or active holiday?
Oh fuck. Probably like a little relaxing holiday, but I'd get really like. Probably like
Agitated.
the third day, I'd be like, right, let's go to the gym. Let's get back onto the plan, right? Where's my plan? Where's my meals?
Yeah, I'm kind of like I can do because I'm normally like a 3 or 4 day holiday guy rather than like a 2 week jobby. In them 3 or 4 days, I can relax but still give an hour in the gym. I can find that balance, I think. So I'm still relaxed, I'm still chilled, but I can still do an hour in the gym. Do you know what I mean? And I'd be lying if I said the gym sessions were like, I'm not taking my logbook. I'm just going through the motions and
Get a pump, looking good.
getting a pump ready to get back on the beach. That's it.
Yeah.
So I think that's relaxing for me. I'm not really putting my body under much stress by trying to get top sets and stuff. I'm just kind of just doing a nice little. I probably wouldn't do legs, to be honest. I'd probably do a little bit of cardio just to get rid of that water and have a little pump, like you say.
Yeah. Well,
so I could probably do relaxing. Remove breakfast or dinner.
Well, mate, if I remove any meals, I'm going to shrink.
You just have to bulk out the other ones, or just don't call them breakfast or dinner.
Oh, you'd have to. Oh, fuck, man! It just goes against everything I'm going to say ever. But it'd probably be my last meal because you could go to bed earlier.
Yeah. All right. Fair one. The way I was looking at it is I could kind of get away with not having breakfast and just do like a longer fast because I'm dieting.
Yeah.
And then class my first meal as like lunch, I guess.
Yeah.
Whereas I need to have my last meal, I think.
Yeah.
So money wise, would you rather have £1 million up front or 100 grand a month for a year?
Fuck! It's when my maths are really gonna be shit and piss poor. But
it works out more money if you take it monthly.
Mate,
but obviously,
I'll take it monthly because you have more money.
Yeah.
But let's say I was earning 100 grand a month now, right?
Yeah.
I wouldn't change anything. Right now, I wouldn't spend anything proper. Well, I might invest in something. However, I probably wouldn't actually, because I would just wait till after my show because I don't want anything to get in the fucking way, and I would just comfortably just do everything, do my content, enjoy it, and then like after it, be like, fucking hell, I've got 8-9 mil.
yeah, fair. The only reason I asked that is to kind of see mindset, because some people would go 100 grand a month because it's more money over the course of a year. Some people take the meal and then potentially invest and double it in a year. Rather, obviously that's a big return, but
at that point, but where I am in my mindset right now, I'm focused on this show.
Yeah, so money wouldn't change anything really. It'd probably just wouldn't have to work as much or whatever.
I would literally just be like, right, yeah, that's cool, that's coming in, but don't talk to me about that because I want to win this.
Yeah, fair.
And then come September time, I'd finish my show. Like, yeah, fucking let's say I win. Oh, wicked, yeah, blah blah blah, and I'd be like, fuck me, I've got fucking 900. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, you got a lot of money.
I'd probably go and invest it, then double it, triple it, whatever it.
Yeah, sure.
There and then, because when you go after, it'd probably help your post-show blues because you've been fucking cardio
focus
on it. This heightened sense of fucking thing because you're hungry and you're like, oh, what do I do now? It's like, well, you can't just go and get big because I'm in a really weak state. I need to slowly put food back in. I'm like, oh shit!
Just buy a chef.
Just buy a chef.
Cook all your food for you. Nice. This one ties in quite nicely. It'd be interesting. Would you rather own your own supplement brand or own your own clothing brand?
Oh,
it comes that investment. If you earn some big dollar or you win the lottery, we'll know what's coming.
Yeah, I know. Well, the thing is, I'm right now. Something I'm interested in is producing clothing because I like to. I have, obviously you might have seen my Get Massive tops. I've always been like interested in that because I want to wear clothes that I want to wear.
Sure.
Like I want a top that says, you know, get massive on it and walk around with it, or the
Microwave your pineapple.
Yeah, like, exactly. Like
Yeah.
pineapple to get massive. Just I like to wear my own stuff, and that's a thing that I've done. Like I want to walk about in my get massive top. So right now, I would say the clothing because
Yeah.
that's what I'm interested in. And I think there, you know, it'd be fun to make some tops that are quite loud. You know, I'm a quite loud person. Probably realise being on here.
Yeah.
I want to top. I'd have some of these quite loud tops that have some quite funny slogans, or just me really, just when wear them and sell them to other people and get them out there. But in terms of a supplement brand right now, I feel like something like a supplement brand comes with years of knowledge, mileage.
Yeah.
I think mileage can't be taught.
No.
Like we get this is, I don't know why I've got all serious, but I have right now. But like, there's meant to be quick fire questions.
Yeah,
but I'll be quick. But like, let's look at Jordan. He's been in this game 10, 12 plus years.
Yeah.
He's done like all of it, right? And he's taken his body. He's a 5'6" guy, and he took himself to 300 pounds, which, you know, it's quite a lot of stress on his body. And this knowledge that he's learned with his health subs and stuff like that, can't beat that. And I feel like that's, if I was going to do like the supplement stuff, that's sort of the style, something that actually is like, this is, you need this shit. Like if you're going to do this sport, you kind of need these stuff to like prevent any sort of collateral damage, that kind of stuff. Or like, and the pre-workouts that you like when you first start off, you must remember, like you want the pre-workout that just gets you fucking off your nut, right?
Yeah, I've got a few stuff here, to be fair.
I mean, like you end up fucking having a coffee up and having pre-workout because you're like, I'll have so much fucking caffeine, but then you don't realise that caffeine too much is actually counterintuitive because it restricts the blood flow. You know, I probably butchered that, but the vasodilation, whatever, it can affect your pump, and that can affect your performance in the gym. So, but however, now I'm more of a guy that likes actually like 200 milligrams of caffeine, and I like more of the performance stuff, the focus, the nootropics, or something that's going to basically, that's not going to spark any anxiety. I don't really have anxiety, but the only times I've experienced it is when I've had something that's too stimmy, and I've experienced an injury, and I'm getting back, and I'm going for a 5-plate hack squat, and then I'm having a bit of an anxiety attack, and I'm thinking I'm going to tear my TFL again. I'm going to fuck myself, and then I have to just like fucking grow up, Josh. Do you want this or do you not? So I feel like supplement-wise, something I'd probably get into as well, if I can, twisting the question now, making it my own thing. I would do that after years of years. That makes sense. Like Fuad, for instance, he's been in the game for 20 plus years, and now he's got his supplement brand.
Yeah, I think I had his old cartoon in here once. Come through.
Yeah.
So I didn't know Ronnie did fucking supplements.
Ronnie, Fuad.
Oh, Fuad, sorry, yeah. Yeah, I've seen his stuff.
His intro workout, because he's, that's the kind of thing I think it, like I've, through this like time that I've done it, you realise that you learn things, the ways that you like things. So I was doing lots of Pepto Pro, typically like a hydrolyzed protein. You sort of have intra workout, a bit like the EAAs, help with muscle building, but it's fucking horrible. Have you ever tried Pepto Pro?
No, never.
But if you ever, mate, it's bitter as fuck. Stick to EAAs. I'm just going to say, it's fucking awful. But EAAs work just as well. But
I normally just do my EAAs, and then if I've got the carbs, I'll just put a bit of intra carb in it.
Exactly. So you can buy an expensive, you can buy a nice, or not that expensive, but like a decent EAA. You get a nice flavour to it. See what I mean? And I feel like that's something that I've experienced. So like, if I was going to now opt for an intra product, I would want something that has that formulated, if that makes sense. The same with like your carb sources. I'm pretty sure you've had like multi-dextrin, dextrose, really cheap, easy, but it bloats you out, and you're like, why am I so fucking bloated? Because obviously a lot of blood has got to digest that. It causes gastrointestinal stress. But then cycling dextrin, it doesn't take as much blood for it to digest, so you don't get those effects, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
so Yeah.
I agree with you, to be fair. Obviously, I've got a supplement store and I have toyed with the idea of, because it's quite actually simple to do nowadays if you wanted to bring out your own supplement brand. But honestly, like the financial backing you need for it, as well as, like you say, the most important thing, the knowledge, because otherwise you're just bringing out the same shit as everyone else, putting a label on it. Whereas I think clothing's something that I think this is JP actually. Yeah, this is JP. I think like he's built this because it's like, this is baggy, don't get me wrong, but like he likes the bigger clothing. Do you know what I mean? Like it's going to fit better for the bigger guys. So I think clothing's probably something that would be more my thing than bringing out my own brand, even though I have a supplement store.
Yeah, no, I agree. I feel like it's you can learn the knowledge, but it's the mileage to go along with it. Because like on paper, Pepto Pro is going to be better, but Pepto Pro takes like fucking arse. Like we talked about at the start about theory and applying to practical. It takes time, right? Just to get there, to sort of learn those things and actually like take the time and the mileage to go. Actually, yeah, that's great, but fucking try that drink and try and drink that through your workout. You know, you're fucking sitting there going, no one's going to buy your product. You don't want to drink your product. Take like fucking shit.
There's only so long you're going to be able to stomach it before you just stop taking it, and then
and you might have issues with with like GR, like you might have fucking like gut problems and stuff. And you don't want that. You're trying to fucking pull 6 plates off the fucking ground, and you're like sitting there going. Like, your stomach's all fucked up. It's not beneficial, right, for your performance.
Definitely, mate. So just as like wrapping it up now then, so what's your kind of aim over the next few years then with bodybuilding?
With my bodybuilding, I want to take it to the highest I possibly can. I want to go professional. I'm not chasing a pro card. When it happens, it happens. But I want to build a pro physique. I want to bring some ginger sparkle to bodybuilding. I really want to be some sort of like, I'm a big fan of posing. I want to get in and pose and just give some, I know I'm ginger, but give some soul to bodybuilding, give it some soul. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying bodybuilding soulless. I just want to give a bit of me to bodybuilding.
Yeah. It's that personality again, isn't it? People remember that if you can show that off.
It's bodybuilding's helped me here and it's given me this, right? It's given me some heart. It's given me a lot. It settled me down as a youngster. I'm married now. I'm the happiest I've ever been. I want to give something to bodybuilding. I also want to, with YouTube and stuff, is document my whole process. So someone who is young can look at 160-pound Josh in 2018 and then see me in whatever year as a 300-pound fucking mass monster. And they're not just looking at the pictures and then they go, oh, drugs.
Yeah.
Actually, go watch what I've done. And I'm still eating my fucking same meal, but I'm eating more of it here. And I'm this big guy in the off season, if that makes sense.
Yeah, definitely, mate.
And also help some people with my coaching that I've expanded and that help those people who struggle with the accountability, like Josh was in 2017. And give my energy, really give that energy, that drive I've got to give something that I really love doing. That's for me anyway. But yeah, I want to get to the highest highs of bodybuilding. I want to know when I'm 40 plus and be like, if I have a kid or whatever, you'd be like, look, dad's the fucking, or whatever, be an old man and be like, I was in the Mr. Olympia. And people like, yeah, that's so-and-so. He was the fucking good body. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely. Leave a bit of a legacy behind.
Well, yeah, a legacy, especially that. It would be awesome. And it's like it's priceless. If you could leave a legacy when I die or as an old man, that's priceless to me.
Yeah, definitely, mate.
Sure, and especially in a sport that you fucking love.
Yeah, no, 100%, mate. I wish you obviously all the best with it. And,
yeah, you too, man. I hope your diet goes well. Let me know.
Yeah, appreciate that, mate. Yeah, of course.
Those photos, man. I want to see you shredded.
It's time and place. It's coming. It's coming.
That's brilliant. Anyway, it's been lovely.
Man, mate.
Thank you for having me on, mate. And it's been lovely chatting to you.
Anytime, mate. Anytime. Speak to you soon.
All right. Take care. Bye-bye.